Good afternoon. I'm appreciative that you all could join us and be part of the July installment of the Discover What's Possible webinar series. Today we're going to be looking at going mobile with CDM Plus. My name is Dean Phelps, and I'm joined by Julianne, who is our product specialist. Sherry and Don are joining us from our support team, and Chris is here from our sales and marketing team. So just a word about myself as we're getting started. I am currently working with Saran as a product tester. I've been about a 20-year user of CDM Plus, and I'm a minister in the Christian Church Disciples of Christ. Have used CDM Plus throughout my ministry and have been very excited about using the mobile app. Most of my ministry has been spent doing judicatory work, what the Disciples of Christ would call a regional minister. So I work with a region, or what we might think of as a conference or a synod. And this is part of a webinar series that we're doing, so you can discover what's possible with CDM Plus. Today we'll be talking about the mobile application. I believe Chris is going to drop the link to the webinar series page into the chat. Feel free to visit that page, see what webinars are coming up, and if you see something that you would be interested in attending, please go ahead and register. If you register for the webinar and then find you're not able to attend, we will be able to send you the link to the recording when that becomes available. Also want to lift up the annual Users Conference that will be in Lexington, Kentucky this September 23rd through 25th. If you've not been to the Users Conference before, this is 2.5 days of a very intense CDM Plus training. There's a lot to be learned. You'll attend classes taught by Saran Systems staff. And probably the biggest benefit, I think, to the Users Conference is meeting other CDM Plus users. The chance to interact with other people, to exchange ideas, to ask questions about, how do you address this situation? How are you using the database to power and inform your ministry? So I believe Chris is going to drop the link to the Users Conference page into the chat as well. And so please feel free to visit that page. We do have an early bird discount that is still available through July 31st. So just a couple more weeks to save $125 on the registration. So today we're going to be talking about going mobile with CDM Plus, the CDM Plus mobile app. Ministry is not something we do from an office. The ministry and work that we do is mobile. We're on the go. You connect with people on the go, and CDM Plus Mobile provides a way for your data to be on the go with you, to have your data close at hand without necessarily having to be attached to your laptop, notebook, or desktop computer. I hope from this webinar you'll get enough information to kind of stimulate your curiosity and see how you might start using it and letting it inform the work that you're doing. So when I think of CDM Plus, I generally talk about CDM Plus as being the database that is holding your data, that database of people, people who are connected with your church or organization, who connect with you through their membership, through their giving, through attending events. So all of that information is stored in your database. And there are really 4 different ways that you can access that CDM Plus data. One of them is through the CDM Plus desktop program. And I know a lot of folks, when they think of CDM Plus, they think about that desktop program that you download and install on your laptop or desktop computer and use that to connect to your database. And that's really used for office administrators, folks who need access to the wide range of functions that are available in the CDM Plus desktop program. There are some things that you can only do in the desktop. So that provides that wide range of functionality. Engage is another way that people can access your data. Engage is a website. It's a web-based application that allows the people in your database to take some ownership of their own information. With an Engage account, they can log in and look at their information. They can see people that are parts of the same groups that they are. They can update their contact information and picture. They can register events, and they can make online contributions through Engage. So Engage is that web-based platform. The web ministry tools are a tool that office administrators and ministry leaders use to create tools like an event registration tool that you then put on your church or organization's website. And then what we're going to talk about today is this fourth way of accessing your data, the CDM Plus mobile application. Now, CDM Plus Mobile is an app that runs on a smartphone or tablet. So it's an app that you would download. It runs on both Apple devices with iOS and devices that are running Android. So it runs on that wide range of platforms. Now, it does require CDM Plus data hosting, but if you're already on a CDM Plus cloud or SaaS plan, then you already have access to CDM Plus Mobile. It's a question of downloading the app, setting up the device to connect to your database, and you can start using CDM Plus Mobile right away. The app download is free. You can get it from the App Store, from Google Play, or for Amazon apps. It doesn't cost anything to download the app. And then what the app does is connects a mobile device, a smartphone or a tablet, to your database. And this is really intended for administrators and ministry leaders to have that access to data, like we said, have access to data on the go. You're on the go doing your work. CDM Plus Mobile lets your data travel with you. Now, CDM Plus Mobile is made up of several sub-applications that let you access various parts of your CDM Plus database. So you can use CDM Plus Mobile to update individuals and groups in your database. You can use CDM Plus Mobile to edit and review attendance, and you can take attendance manually, or you can use the camera on your device to scan barcodes and take attendance that way. You can review contributions in the CDM Plus Mobile app. CDM Plus Mobile can also be the workstation for check-in and check-out. You can use CDM Plus Mobile to create visitation and pastoral records, have kind of a record of contacts with various people connected to your church or organization through those visitation or pastoral records. And you can set up reminders if there's any kind of follow-up that needs to be looked at. CDM Plus Mobile gives you a way to scan receipts as you're on the go and incurring expenses. You can use the mobile app to scan that receipt and create that payable item in your database real time. The days of me having to wad up receipts in my pocket and wait till I got back to the office to enter those can be behind me by using the CDM Plus Mobile app. I can, right in that moment, record that expense. If you are a judicatory body, a region or a conference or a synod, and you're using the CDM Plus regional program, then the CDM Plus mobile application gives you access to church data as well. And that's a lot of information that's available. And so the question might be, can anybody that downloads the CDM Plus mobile app have access to all of those functions in my database and all of that information in my database? And the answer is no. You have the ability on a device-by-device basis to set up, okay, for this particular device, what applications can this device use? Can it only access individuals? Can it access individuals in visitation records? Can it or can it not take attendance? What groups can this device take attendance for? Can this device update information? We can set it up so that it's a read-only or that somebody can update information using the mobile app. If someone makes an update, should somebody get a notification that that update has happened from this device? What groups can this device access? What groups of people can this particular device work with? And can this device access everybody's information, or can it just access those certain groups? So as we're setting up a device to connect to mobile, we'll be thinking about, the person who holds that device. What is it that they need access to? What is it that they need the ability to do so that we have the ability on a device-by-device basis to control what information and what functions that device can access. Now, that's a lot to go through, and I don't want to try to cover it all today. So what we'll be looking at is how to use CDM Plus Mobile with individuals and groups, how you can use CDM Plus Mobile to record attendance, looking at getting reminders of special occasions as a way to just stay in touch with people, let people know that you're thinking about them. How to use CDM Plus to capture those receipts and those expense records. We're going to look at how to use visitation records with reminders. And by putting these two things together, CDM Plus Mobile can become a very powerful contact management system. And so we're going to look at how to do that. If time permits, we will take a brief look at how you set up a device using the desktop program. I won't try to go too much in depth to it because there's really a lot there. Like I said, there's a lot of different options, different ways to set a device up. But we'll just kind of take a look at what that looks like. So meanwhile, let's just jump right in. Okay, so you should be seeing part of the home page from my iPad device. And so if you look on that bottom row there, right in the middle, you see the app icon for CDM Plus Mobile. So I'm going to tap on that. And then this is the login screen. So as a way of confirming that the person we think is holding the device is really the person holding the device, they can put in a 4-digit PIN that you assign to them. If their device uses Face ID or Touch ID, you can also allow the device to do that. Again, it's that confirmation that this really is the person that we think is holding the device. I'm going to go ahead and tap enter my PIN and then tap go. And so this is what the home screen of the mobile app looks like. And so you can see what I have now is access to those various smaller or sub-applications within CDM Plus Mobile. So I'm able to access individuals. I'm able to take attendance. I could use this device for check-in or check-out. I have access to reminders, and I have access to receipts. If this were a CDM Plus regional database, then we'd see a 7th icon there that was labeled for churches. So let's start by looking at the Individuals app. So I'm going to tap on that Individuals icon. And now you see I haven't selected an individual yet, but up in that upper left-hand corner, that's where I can access the various groups that I have access to. So I'm going to tap on that. And so you can see that I have access to this group of Bible study classes. I have access to these church groups. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on the adult choir. And that's going to bring up all of the individuals that are part of that group. So again, this is just one way I have of searching for people. So I'm going to I want to look at David Armstrong's information. So I'm going to tap on his name. And then that brings up this information. Now, again, this is on a tablet. And so this view has these 4 different panels laid out in 4 different quadrants. If we were looking at this on a phone, something with a smaller screen, then each of these panels would appear by itself and you would swipe or tap between them. Then down at the bottom, if you look across the very bottom of the screen, you see access to different individual functions. So I've got personal, and that's what we're seeing here, the personal information. If I tap on attendance, then I'm able to review this person's attendance records. If I tap on visitation, and here's a list of the visitation records. Here's a record in my hand of the contacts that we have made with this person. And then with one particular, we have the June 13th visitation selected. And so I'm seeing in the right-hand column details about that particular visit. If we had, so up at the top, you see the date, the time, who made the visit, and some comments about the visit underneath trip number and price. Pastoral records are very similar to visitation records, with the exception that they don't have reminders attached to them. A very key difference is pastoral records, you want to have tighter control on access. Pastoral records is where we might store more sensitive or confidential information. So you want to make sure to understand the access, who might have, be able to see those pastoral records, who needs to see them versus who might be able to. If I tap on contributions, again, I can see a record of this person's contributions. Whether or not I can see contributions it depends entirely on how the device was set up. We could have set this device up to only be able to access personal information, not be able to access contributions, to not be able to see attendance or be able to see attendance. Again, we have that kind of flexibility in controlling what a device and the person holding the device can do. The last tab there across the bottom is the Groups tab. So I can tap and see what groups this person is a member of. Now, one of the things I mentioned in the introduction is I can also set up this device whether or not it can update information. So I'm going to go back to the Personal tab for just a minute and point out that at the bottom of that contact window, you see buttons that say Edit and Refresh. And part of what that's telling me is this device has permission to update information, which can be really handy on the go. Say I am meeting with David and he goes, oh, by the way, I have a new email address to use. Well, I can, holding my device now, tap the Edit button here under Contact. I can tap the Add button here at the bottom of that window and say, okay, you have a new email address. And we just type that in. Tap Save and save again. Now that email address is not only in your mobile device, we just updated it in the CDM Plus database as well. So all these are happening real time. Now to finish the save, I click the green Save button here in the lower right of that Edit Contacts window. And there we go. And the other thing I can do from contacts is, say I need to send David an email. Well, I can tap on that email address, and now mobile has opened up my email application, addressed a new email to David, and I can start typing and send an email to him. If I were using a device that was able to make calls, if I were doing this from my phone, I'd be able to tap that phone number and I'd be given a choice to call him, or in this case, I can tap the phone number and have the option to send an SMS text message as well. So again, mobile provides me all these ways to be able to stay in touch with people while I'm on the go without having to necessarily stop, open up a laptop computer, or be back in my office where a desktop computer might be to access the database. I have it here with me on the go. Under address, again, I have the ability to edit. I can update this address, say David has moved. I can make that change right here from the app. I also have a map of the location as well. I can tap on that map and get driving directions. So a lot of really good features right here just in the personal section. Likewise, I can edit group membership from within the app. So I can, with this groups tab selected, I can tap edit And I can see by the green check marks what groups David is currently a member of. I could add him to the Adult Bible Fellowship by tapping on that. You see the green check mark appeared, and I can tap Save. And now you can see in the list he's a member of the Adult Bible Fellowship. If I tap on a group that has the green check mark, say David is no longer on the board, I can tap that, remove the check mark, basically remove David from that group, and tap Save. So I'm able to manage all that group membership as well from within the app. Now, another thing I can do up here in the upper right-hand corner, this little tic-tac-toe board will always take me back to the home screen. So I can come back in here and let's go back into the Individuals app. And I can tap that adult choir list, or I can go back to groups and select a new group. So, for example, I could choose the board members. Now, at the bottom of this window, you see a little circle icon with an arrow that would let me refresh the list. You also see what, for an iOS device, is the share icon, the box with the arrow coming out the top of it. If I tap on that, CDM Plus Mobile now gives me the option to email everybody that's in this group, or choose selected people in the group that I want to send an email to, or I can send a text message to everybody in the group. And again, I'm not tied to an office or a location or a particular laptop computer. I can do this all on the go using the CDM Plus Mobile app. So let's go back to the home page and let's look at attendance. And if I go into the attendance app, here's a place where I am manually able to take attendance. So it's, what group am I going to take attendance for? Well, we're going to take attendance for the Bible Study Fellowship that is meeting today on July 16th. And so now taking attendance is as simple as tapping the names in the individuals column on the left. And you see we're updating on the right. These updates are happening real time in your CDM Plus database. These attendance records have been created. Oh, I made a mistake. Rebecca Folsom wasn't there. I can tap on the name on the right and remove it. So now taking attendance is a very easy thing to do. Just be present in the room with your device and you're able to take attendance that way. Now, because these handheld devices, phones and tablets, have cameras on them, you can also use the device's camera to scan a barcode to take attendance. Those of you who have attended the annual users conference before have noted that as you come into a classroom, we have an iPad set up on a stand at the door, and you're able to scan the barcode that's on the back of your name badge. And that's how we record what classes that you attended for those folks that need that record of their attendance to take back to their church or organization after the conference. So manually take attendance as we saw on here, or we can use the device's camera to scan barcodes and take attendance that way. We use the tic-tac-toe board and go back to the home screen. I'm really not going to spend time on check-in and check-out because those functions are a process in and of themselves. We had an earlier webinar on check-in, check-out, and I would encourage you to go back and find that recording and look at that. What I want to do is skip on over to the Reminders app. And what this does is looks at what reminders do I have coming up? Well, I have a reminder today because I see Danny Peters' name there with a piece of birthday cake next to his name. Today is Danny's birthday. So again, I don't have to get to my office. I can be sitting having my morning coffee, look at the app and go, oh, it's Danny's birthday. I can tap on his name. That opens up that individual screen where his email address is. I could tap on the email address or maybe tap on a mobile phone number, send an email, send a quick text message, wish him a happy birthday. Just a way of staying connected, even while I'm on the go, staying connected and letting people know that I'm thinking about them, that they're on my mind. If I tap reminders up here in the upper left, I go back to where I was. I can also see reminders that are coming up this week. Got another birthday coming up on July 20th. I can see reminders coming up for the rest of this calendar month. When we look at visitation records in a minute, we'll see where we might have overdue reminders. And so I've got names here with a little car next to them, and that tells me that this is a visitation reminder. We're going to look at that in a little more detail when we look at visitation records. So I'm going to come back here to the app home screen, and let's just look quickly at receipts. I will confess to you, I have been guilty of carrying the wadded up receipts in my pocket or inevitably losing receipts in between the time I had the expense, the meal with somebody, and the need to get it back and turn that receipt into somebody. Well, now with mobile, I can tap on this receipts icon and it will open up this window where I've got the date, uh, who did I pay this to? What was my method? It's showing MasterCard. I only have that one payment method set up. You can set up multiple payment methods. What account does this get booked against in the accounting system? I can put in a description, an amount, and then the wonderful feature is up at the top. I can tap the Add Scan button, choose the option to scan the receipt, or if I've already taken a picture of the receipt, I can choose it from my photos. But if I tap Scan Receipt, the app activates my camera, and I can just take a picture of the receipt and record it right there. So again, real time. And then when I'm done, I save the receipt. And now we've created that record in the database already. It's off my mind now because I was able to take care of it right at the time that I incurred the expense. I'm going to tap back, and that takes me back to the home screen again. So let's come back in here and look at some of what we can do with visitation records. So let me search for a person by name and tap search on my keyboard. Now I'll come back over here to the personal tab. So this is Carol Manning, some information we don't have. So I'm going to tap on the visitation tab. We don't have any visitation records for Carol yet, but we're going to create a new one. So I'm going to tap on Create New Visitation Record. So he opens up this window. If I need to record this for a different date, I can tap on the date and the mobile app will bring up a calendar that I can select the date from. I'm going to keep it on today. So who made this visit? Who was the staff member that made this visit? And this is something you would set up in the master coding system. Who are the visitation staff? So we're going to say this is a visit from the senior minister. What type of visit was it? Well, this was a phone call. Add some comments. Save that. So now I'm in the process of creating this list of contacts, this record of how have we been in touch with this person. Now here's where I think the visitation piece of CDM Plus Mobile just really shines. My ability to add a reminder. So I'm going to tap Add a Reminder. And so I need to follow up, make a follow-up phone call. And I need to do that in 2 days. So up here at Reminder Date, I'm going to tap on the date. Choose 2 days from now, the 18th. And what time of day? Well, let me get this about 9:35 a.m. and save that. Now, who's that reminder going to go to? Because what we've done is we've set up a reminder that if the device is set up to receive push notifications, my device is going to receive an alert on July 18th that I need to make this follow-up phone call. So again, I'm getting this reminder. Now, it doesn't have to be me that receives the reminder because I can set access for these visitation records. So up here at the top, the access is a question of, okay, who can see this? Who can read this? So I have a default that's been set up. I can make it private, which means I'm the only one that can see it. I can make it public, which means that everybody can see it, or I can choose selected people in the database who would have access and be able to see this visitation record. I'm going to leave this on default for now. In the reminder, I can set who this reminder should go to. So if I actually need Chris to make the follow-up phone call, on selected for reminder, I can tap on his name. And I'm going to just double check and have the reminder sent to me as well. So again, I have this ability now. So now, July 18th at 9:35 a.m., Chris and I are going to receive notifications on our devices that this follow-up call needs to be made. So I hope you see how this, I'm going to tap Save to save the access level. Tap Save again to save the visitation record. Now you see what we saw earlier, a list of the contact, details of the contact in the right-hand column, and you can see that there's a reminder set for a follow-up phone call for 9:35 a.m. I can see that the reminders are set for me and for Chris, and I can see what device entered this reminder, when it was done, and when it might have been changed. So I've got all that detail about the records. So I hope you start to see then how using reminders with visitation records can start to become a really powerful contact management system. Especially as I think about one thing that churches often do is the follow-up with visitors. To be able to do that, keep that up to date, keep that work going, keep that flow going, using visitation records to record the contacts and to set reminders so that we make sure we do the follow-up when we need to. I'm going to go back to the home screen for just a minute. I'm going to go to the Reminders app. I'm going to look at this week, and now you see here, there's the reminder for Carol Manning that I just set up, and you see the little car icon next to it tells me this is a visitation reminder. We had several overdue reminders, so I want to go take a look at one of those. Let's look at the reminder for David Armstrong here from June 14th, kind of about in the middle of the screen here. So I'm going to tap on David Armstrong under that date. That's going to open up the reminder. And I can make changes to the reminder. I can delete the reminder, or I can tap this Remind button. And I have the option to say, snooze this for a day, remind me again tomorrow, or go ahead and mark this particular reminder as being complete. So if I tap on Complete, then that reminder has been marked done. And notice under June 14th, that David Armstrong reminder isn't there anymore. So that's what gives us access. We've covered a lot. We've looked at how to manage individual information and contact information, how we can use mobile to stay in touch with people, to take attendance, to record expenses, to really take a look at how CDM Plus Mobile can help us understand our contacts. What's our record of contact with people? So that's really all I had planned to cover. What kind of questions are we having at this point?
Sheila, do you have a question?
Yes, thank you so much. The group text in the group, I know you said we could do group emails. Can we do group text? And say, for instance, we put, well, I guess it would be considered a group together. Can we send out a group text from there? I saw what we can do individual, but I didn't see how to do group.
You can send out texts to members of a group. They do go out as individual texts.
Okay.
So a response to the text wouldn't go back to the whole group. A response to the text would come back to you. So it's not a group text in that sense, but it's text to all of the individuals in the group.
And would say it was, will it say it's coming from the actual ministry, or would it be coming from the person that has the mobile app?
It would be coming from the device that's using the app, yes.
Okay. So they will see it as my personal versus seeing it as the church, the ministry.
That's correct.
Okay. 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 And that's the same with the emails as well?
Yes. Now what that's going to do is open up the email app on your device, which for my personal device, I've got both my church and personal accounts set up. So I could then set up that email to be coming from my church account.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you so much.
Yeah, glad to. Thank you.
Naomi's asking if you would like to find a person not assigned to a group, do all individuals need to be assigned to a group?
No, you can have an individual that's not assigned to any groups. And if the device is able to search for individuals by name, you'd still be able to find that person.
Danielle asks, can you see the visitor section on the mobile app?
When you are taking attendance for events, you will see visitor records in there. If you might recall, when we were looking at attendance, I was doing it for a class and everybody had a little green member box next to their name. You would also see blue visitor boxes as well. So you have access to folks who are in your visitor records, yes.
Sheila asks, can we set up attendance for classes with a kiosk?
The way I would do that is doing taking attendance by scanning. So I don't know if you use name badges or something like that, but something that somebody could have a barcode on. And then you could set up a device in a kiosk, activate its camera to take attendance, and when people came in, they could just scan their barcode. Similar to what I described for how we take attendance in classes at the users conference. That's kind of a kiosk concept for taking attendance.
Okay, well, can I ask the question for, how you might have growth track classes where they go from one level to another level. So will we have to group them into groups and then do the mobile attendance like that? And do the mobile attendance putting the classes as they go through each level into groups, and then the instructor will be able to do attendance? Is that the best way to do that?
Are these folks all meeting in the same, these different levels of class? Are they all in the same space?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What I would do is set up the class for everybody that might be in there, and then I think I would use groups to kind of determine what level, but I would be taking attendance for who all is in the room at the time.
Okay. And then, okay, so each time they go, like we have 101, 201, and 301, and they go through those levels.
Mm-hmm.
But each month it may be different. So that's like continually making different groups, if that makes sense.
It does, and where I could see handling that is like if I have groups for my 101, 201, 301. Now you certainly could set each of those up as their own class,
Right.
but that does mean that you'd go into that attendance app in mobile 3 different times to take attendance for each of those levels. And then you can also use the ability to edit groups in mobile to move people. Say somebody has moved from 101 to 201, but you can go in with the mobile app to their groups and make that change.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you can make those changes like that. Okay.
Yeah, we can edit anybody's, if your device is set up to do it, you can edit a person's group membership.
Okay. So we'll just go to the individual tab and edit it that way.
Just
Okay.
bring up the individual, go to their groups, tap edit, take them out of 101, put them in 301, and you've made the move.
Okay. So if you got like 50 people in a class, it's probably going to be easier to do it on the computer and just change the whole group at one time, do a mass change.
If you have to do a mass change, then that's where I think I would look to the desktop, because there I've
Right.
got individual list maintenance that just makes that really easy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Okay. That's why I was wondering if they could do a kiosk and it automatic scans them in and they can just go there. But yeah, I still have to set it up in the groups though. I got you. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Beth was asking if we had time to talk about the setup.
I can show the setup real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna open CDM Plus here. So where you set this up is in administration. So I go to File, Administration. This is looking at how to set up a device to use CDM Plus Mobile. So when somebody just downloads the app and opens it for the first time, they're going to have access to a demo database. And what we have to do in the desktop is then set up the device so it's connected to your database. And so we do that in administration, and we go to the mobile tab here on the left. And so this is the device that I was using today, Dean's iPad Main. And so what we do is we give the device a name. This is where we assign that 4-digit PIN. That's something that we use to authenticate that the person we think is holding the device is really holding the device. User access connects this to a user record, back up here on your user tab, a user record in your system. I think it's a good idea to set up user records for mobile users, even if they're never going to log into the desktop program. Because again, if they're going to have the ability to make changes, then we want to be able to see in the database who it was that might have made the change with the mobile app. And making this user access connection will help us do that. And then here under features is where you can see the various sub-applications that we saw. So here under individual, what tabs do I have does this device have access to? If this device doesn't need access to contributions, I uncheck it, and that's done. And these changes are being made real time. This device can make changes to the data. I could set no. If this device makes a change to data, we're going to notify somebody. Can this device send email? Can this device send text messages? And then what groups does this device have access to? I would really steer you away from choosing all. That can get, but really think through the person using this device. What is it? What groups is it that they need access to? And you select those there. Likewise, under each tab is where you set up features. I can do manual attendance on this device. If this is a device that we want to use the camera and scan barcodes, we would check barcode scanner enabled. We can choose selected groups that this device can take attendance for. Again, is this a device enabled for check-in or check-out? If this enabled were unchecked, I would not see those icons on the home screen of the mobile app. For reminders, do we want to show this person reminders? Do we want to show them birthdays and anniversaries? Do we want to show them visitation reminders? And should this device receive those push notifications when a reminder happens? Should they get that alert on their phone or on their tablet device? And then under receipts, to enable that, to check the box if we want to send a notification email when somebody records a receipt, and then what payment methods do they use? And this is where I have set up, you remember, I just had MasterCard set up as my payment method for receipts. So that's a very quick run through administration. I would really encourage, if you're getting started with this, if there's things you want to explore, the CDM Plus support team can really be a help to you here. They can help you get a device set up, especially if it's the first time, even help you think through what's this device need access to and how do I set that up. So please feel free to reach out to the support team and enlist their help as well. Well, again, thank you all so much for taking the time and being part of the webinar today. I do hope you'll start to explore CDM Plus Mobile. I found in my own work, in my own ministry, it can be a very helpful and very powerful tool to help build up ministry, to help keep work flowing and help have an understanding that informs the work that we're doing. So again, thank you all so much.